Happy Wednesday. Welcome on into Let's Bet It. Laura Jabari here with Alex Glaze. Alex, so much to talk about. First of all, I haven't seen you in a little while. How was your golf game looking this weekend?
It was February, so it's early days in the golf season. The wind is kind of crazy, but anytime you can golf in February, there are no complaints.
The wind,
No.
yeah, I know. A lot of wind, but you know what? Moving into March, it's going to even get better because you keep swinging, you keep working at it, you get just a little bit better each day. And then by August, you're amazing. September, you're even more than amazing. And then you sit out all winter again and then wait till the next year to suck and work
Or
on
I
it.
gotta find somewhere where it's just warm year round, and that's
I
where I
know.
need to that's where I need
Florida,
to
I've heard, is pretty warm year round, and same with Texas too. So just saying. All right, lots to talk about today. First of all, I just want to toot my own horn for a second because I had a Jabbar lay yesterday, and I haven't been giving out a lot of Jabbar lays recently. I will pick up my Jabbar lay game. But my Jabbar lay hit yesterday. It was the Flames money line and the Blue Jackets money line, and I felt really good about it after that hit. Also, what did you think about some of those college basketball games yesterday?
Crazy. Obviously, the big one was the Wisconsin Purdue game. Just a great game. I mean,
Yeah.
March is gonna be nuts. These college basketball games, this tournament, even the conference tournaments. I mean, if these last couple of games of the regular season are any indication of what we're gonna get in March, just craziness is headed our way.
I know. I'm so excited for it. And it was also crazy this past weekend that 1 through 6 and 9 all lost too. So it's like, what is going on? March Madness happening before March even starts. Now it's March 2nd. The madness is really starting to pick up. I am so looking forward to Selection Sunday, the conference tournaments, and then St. Patrick's Day when it all begins, which is how amazing that the first day of March Madness falls on St. Patrick's Day. That's just going to be a day for the taken.
I'm pumped. I'm actually going to some of the games in Chicago. I'm not sure if
You
I'm going
are?
to the 16 games or the Elite 8 games. I'm not sure. Whatever games on the 24th in Chicago, I'll be there.
That will be
games.
so awesome. Jealous of you.
Yeah, I know.
Jealous
Yeah,
of
I'm
you.
pumped.
Lots to talk about today. So we're going to go through some NHL Ice Picks. There's 4 games, I think, on the slate tonight, or 6 games on the slate tonight. We'll go through a few of those. We have the Arnold Palmer Classic Tournament in the PGA Tour. We're talking about that with our good old boy, Teddy Greenstein. College basketball predictions, NBA picks that we have going on. Then we can't end without our Pickswise 3-star play of the day and our best bets of the day. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's bet it. NHL, you look at the slate tonight. There are 4 games on the slate. And I know we're on one of the same games, Alex. So I'll let you break it down first. We have
we're both
on the Stars in Dallas.
Yeah, we're both looking at the Kings tonight. I'm looking at it a little bit differently than you are. Not as risky as you are. I just want the Kings money line. I think you're taking them on the 3-way money line. Is that the way you're looking at it? Yeah,
Yes,
I just want
am.
Kings money line. Still plus money. But I'm just looking at this game. I really like the under initially because these are just 2 very low scoring teams and 2 defensive minded teams. But I think I'm staying away from a total here and just looking at the Kings to win this one because I think this is a great bounce back spot for the Kings after getting embarrassed the other day, right? Like 7-0 to the Bruins, not necessarily a great way to show out. So yeah, Dallas is a good team at home, but I think this is a good spot and you're getting good value with I think 2 fairly evenly matched teams in the Kings and the Stars. But I just think that the Kings have a little more offensive potential. And I think that's going to come out tonight, especially after getting embarrassed.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. So I actually like the Kings 3-way money line in this spot. So the Stars, they're going to want to take advantage of home ice, right? The Kings, like you said, they're looking to bounce back from that 7-0 loss to the Bruins. And they're led by a great defense. They're averaging 2.80 goals per game on average given up on the season. 2 goals or fewer they've allowed in 3 of the last 4 games. Obviously, the one exception being that drubbing from Boston that they got the other day. But Jonathan Quick has been having a pretty good season. 909 save percentage, 2.67 goals against average. And I just think the Kings are going to be able to find the mismatches in this game. Defensively, the Kings are going to be able to create turnovers, limit quality shots on net. Offensively, I think they're going to be able to do just enough to squeak by. Right now, they're averaging 2.91 goals per game. The Stars are allowing 2.87 goals per game. But if their trend can continue of allowing 2 goals or fewer, like they did in 3 of the last 4 games, I feel like defensively, they're going to do enough to shut the Stars down, even though the Stars are playing on home ice. And then offensively, they're just going to do just enough to squeak by. That's why I don't like the puck line. I like the Kings as an underdog in this spot in Dallas.
That's why, listen, all the reasons that you just gave for staying away from the puck line is why I'm staying away from the 3-way money line. I like the 3-way money line usually, but just can't trust 2 teams. I think, don't they both rank in the bottom third of the league in goals scored?
Goals scored per game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I know, but the 3-way money line just means that they have to go into overtime.
Yeah, but what do we get, like a 1-1? I mean, I don't know. I'd rather just look. Give me the plus money. I just need them to win. I don't care how it happens.
I'll sprinkle the regular money line for you too. But if I'm going big, or I'm going.
No, you're the ice. Listen, I should be bowing to you. I should be doing what you say.
I mean, what can I say? The other game I'm actually looking at, and I know our producer's not going to necessarily love this, the Blues taking on the Rangers. I like the Blues 3-way money line in this spot at plus 150. They're currently on a 4-game winning streak. The Rangers are on a 2-game losing streak. Both teams have had great seasons so far and 2 of the best teams in the NHL. But the Blues offense has been clicking. 31 goals total in their last 7 games, 3.58 goals per game on the entire season. The defense has been great as well. They're only allowing 2.67 goals per game. Justin Falk, Torrey Krug, they've combined for an 8.2 defensive point shares and 107 block shots. And you look at Colton Parayko, Nico Mikola, combined for 3.5 defensive shares, 176 block shots, 2 unreal defensive pairings. The Rangers only had 2 goals in the last 2 games. They're scoring 2.89 goals per game on the season, but their defense has been exceptionally strong. They're the best in the league, allowing only 2.49 goals per game, and they've only allowed 12 goals in their last 6 games. Shesterkin has also been amazing. The 941 save percentage was unreal, and then 1.95 goals against average. But I just think the Blues offensively, they've been on fire. Like I said, 31 goals in their last 7 games. And I think that this is going to be a spot where the Blues are really able to skate it down the Rangers' throats. And it's amazing though. Like the Rangers defensively have been freaking amazing. And the fact that Shesterkin has a 941 save percentage, are you kidding? That's actually crazy. Unbelievable. And they're playing on home ice. So this one makes me a little nervous, but I do still feel strongly that the Blues are going to be able to take advantage of the Rangers on home ice.
We got a question in the chat for you.
What do you say?
We got a question in the chat for you.
Blues
Kings 3-way Jabbarley.
Ooh, why not? I need to plug in what the value is of that. Can you plug in the value of that for me?
Yeah,
I actually still feel I feel good about it. The Blues regular money line, I think, which is that game's a pick 'em. I think their regular money line is minus 105 paired with.
Minus 105 is the Blues.
Yeah, paired with the Kings money line.
You want Kings regular money line or the 3-way
regular money line? Yours.
Regular.
Plus 118, I think it is. Let's get it going. What we got, baby?
Plus 327.
Let's go. Yeah, let's do it. Plus 327. Regular money line, Kings and Blues, Jabbarley. That's my Jabbarley for tonight. Plus 327. I also am separating them and betting them separately. Kings 3-way money line at plus 185 and Blues 3-way money line at plus 150. But we are doing a second day Jabbarley. Why not? It's like when you're playing, blackjack and you win a hand and you're like, just one more hand.
Oh, no. That's how you get
that's how you lose once, you take a couple days off. No. Once you lose once, you take a couple days off the Jabbarley, and then we'll get back into it. You know what I mean? So we'll make that happen. All right, let's talk some golf. Why don't we? Arnold Palmer Invitational happening this weekend. Let's bring in Teddy Greenstein, senior editor at PointsBet, to chat a little bit about the Arnold Palmer Invitational, owned by the one and only Arnold Palmer at Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Teddy, how are you doing today? Happy Wednesday.
I'm good, Lauren. I need to hit some Jabbarleys. So if you could please hit me up. I had 2 out of 3 legs nailed last night. And then I think I had the over on the Wild, 6.5 goals, and there were only 6. Somebody gave me that play. It was close, but it ultimately failed.
Always happens that way.
I know.
Always happens that way.
Close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. Also, I get really excited about this golf tournament because I feel like the Arnold Palmer is one of my favorite drinks in the entire world. I just love the iced tea mixed with the lemonade. I love the guy too, the golfer Arnold Palmer. Same thing. It's one of my favorites. And why not watch a golf tournament? The Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's so true. Generations from now, people are still going to be having that drink, and they're going to be talking like, God, I wonder why it's named this.
I know. It makes me sad that people won't know.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's the king. There's a great event this week. But the drink legacy will outlive him. But for this week, exactly, Lauren, there'll be so much Arnold Palmer talk. He was the king. I was proud enough to, shake his hand and look him in the eye one time at the Masters. And he brought, so much attention, really good attention in the game in the 50s and 60s. And now, at Bay Hill, it's a really tough course. It's kind of like what we talk about at the Honda Classic, where we expect, the cut line's going to be over par. The winning score on average is like 12 under, which, compared to some of these events, especially like in Hawaii, where it's 30 under, is really different. And what's interesting about Bay Hill is you got to be a great long iron player. They're going to be approaches from 170, 180, 190, 200 plus. So last year it was Bryson DeChambeau. He was best in the field on those, on proximity, on those long ones. And that's what we're looking for again this week.
Yeah. Before we oh, no, you go.
Go ahead, Lauren. I was just going to say, before we get into to the Arnold Palmer Classic too much, I want to kind of go back to the Honda Classic a little bit. Yeah. Talk about that Daniel Berger choke job. I mean, what was up with him?
Choke.
Miller 4-1.
I feel kind of bad for him, but he was up 5 strokes heading into the last day.
Yeah, and what I didn't realize was somebody put this out, on Sunday while it was happening. Like, this is the third time where he's had this 54-hole lead and kind of crumbled, shooting in the mid-70s. And yeah, a little painful for me. I jumped on board Friday morning. Nothing big, got him at like plus 400, was feeling pretty good. And then was feeling great heading into Sunday. He was minus 400.
Sunday's minus 400.
Minus 400 Sunday morning. Next closest guy was plus 600.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how bad this is. You go in with a 5-shot lead. You're a superior player. You're experienced on a tough course where, it's not like guys are going to shoot 62 or 63. He was minus 400 on Sunday morning, and it was a legit collapse, as you guys saw.
I know. What went wrong for him, and how, as a player, do you bounce back from that? Because I know a lot of times in team sports, right, you can rely on your teammates. You're like, okay, we lost as a team, we win as a team. Like, he has no one to blame but himself. Like, how do you mentally bounce back from something like that?
Are you guys golfers?
Yes.
So
I know exactly how that feels. Yeah,
I mean, but I don't bounce back. I just
no, I don't have that kind of money on the line. But yeah, it's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling.
Like my version of that is I shoot 82 and then 95, and during that 95, I'm looking down and I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen and which way my weight should be and how I should lean. So those guys go through miniature versions of that where they shoot comfortable shooting 65, 66, and then something starts to go haywire and there's a little choking and there are expectations and every bad thought goes through your head. And that's what we saw. I mean, early on in that round, he made a double bogey on a par 5. And that's obviously what you can't do. He had I think 147 in, hooked an approach into a bunker, had a terrible lot. I mean, all those things. But look, it's golf, right? I mean, it happens to everyone. Except maybe Tiger in his day. He would never fold after 54 holes. Every other human being, every other golfer, whether it's Nicklaus or Palmer or whoever, feels the pressure on Sundays.
It's crazy. It really is crazy.
That you threw out 95 as like a throwaway score, and you would hate 95. I just hate that you threw that out there. So humble brag on your end. I love that. Question for you though, because we know Bryson DeChambeau this weekend to defend his title. He's still a guy though that when he's on the board, he's one of the guys that people are betting on heavily, similar to a Tiger Woods. What we're seeing now with we don't know if Tiger's going to play in the Masters, but people are still putting down money on Tiger. Do you still expect, when we see Bryson again, that he's going to be one of those top 5-10 guys that people put money on?
Well, I really do, because I was looking at the Players Championship odds, I believe, and he's up there. He's like plus 1,400. And what I saw, Justin Thomas was plus 1,800. So Justin won last year. He's healthy. And Bryson hasn't been playing. Bryson really was in poor form all of last year. I mean, he didn't finish in the top 20 in any of the 4 majors. and he's hurt, and somehow his odds are still, lower than Justin Thomas. So I don't understand it other than, yeah, he's a popular guy to bet. I mean, people just have a perception of him of like, oh my God, he's just going to drive it 385 and he's going to be hitting 9 irons into all the par fives and he's going to, just romp. But it hasn't happened. So, I saw his apology not apology. I saw his explanation on social media for why he's not playing this week. Didn't really specify what the injury is. It's wrist or hip or whatever's going on with his body ain't good right now. But yeah, he still has very low odds going into these events when he plays.
Yeah.
Kind of a follow-up for that. Do you think that means that there's an advantage to people that pay attention to these tournaments because there are going to be those popular guys that have, the worst odds just because of their popularity, when some of the real players, you can get a lot of value, the guys that have been playing well, like a Justin Thomas.
Yeah, like a Sepp Straka. I mean, right. If you were smart enough on Sunday to say, I think this guy is primed to finally win a PGA Tour event, then you would have gotten a great price on him. It's just, it's so easy to figure it out looking back. It's so hard to figure out who's going to win these events before they happen. I mean, Luke List, and, it's been a strange PGA Tour season where we've had so many events where it just seems like a dominant player is going to close it out Sunday. There was one with Justin Thomas. There was one with Patrick Cantlay. There's one now with Daniel Berger, and the big names are folding. And we've seen 4 first-time winners already on the PGA Tour. And this is just in 2022. And this hasn't happened since 2002, where we had 4 first-time winners so early in the calendar.
Yeah. Let's talk about your boy, Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Right? Does the former Northwestern Big Ten golfer have what it takes to finally win, Teddy, at Bay Hill?
Yeah, he really could, Lauren. I mean, he is sort of a master of this course. I was looking at his last 3 performances: 2nd, 9th, and tied for 10th. So he can certainly get it done. He's not a big guy. I mean, he's about yay high. It seems like maybe he's like 5'9", 150. So you wouldn't think he's a guy who's great from 190 or 200 yards or 210 yards, but he really is precise. He had an illness a couple weeks ago. He had to cancel out of the Riviera at the Genesis at the Riv. A lot of people liked him that week, couldn't play. So I'm sure he's raring to go. And yeah, I mean, if you're picking him as a top 10 or top 20, I wouldn't dare talk you out of that.
I like it. I really like it.
Yeah, Teddy, PointsBet is giving out some great odds for top English player. Britt's finished 1st or 2nd in each of the past 3 tournaments here. Is there an English player that you like to have success at Bay Hill?
So give me those odds. I hadn't looked at that one yet as I'm pulling up. Let's see.
Let's say.
We do our bad accents too as we're looking
as we're looking up some of the odds for this weekend.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, Patrick, our buddy here, is plus 350. Turl Hatton, and that really is how he pronounces his first name, also plus 350. He is a tough guy. He is a really good ball striker and scrambler. Hasn't done much in the States, is usually overseas. He's playing in what they now call the DP Tour, I believe, the DP World Tour. So he's a factor. Paul Casey, he's a guy, he's just hasn't had the winning in the States, but such a respected player, a very elegant game. And then Justin Rose plus 650. And there are 10 guys in this field. There's still Fleetwood and Westwood. Aaron Rise had a really good season. Danny Willett, Ian Poulter, Matt Wallace. That's a good group. That's like a Ryder Cup team. That's a Ryder Cup team from like the 1960s that could have beaten America. So you can see why Matt Fitzpatrick has a nice price of plus 350, because he's got to be better than 9, legit players there.
Let's go through some of your bets for the weekend, because I'm looking at this sheet. You're on quite a bit of things. So please just run through with me and what we got.
Yeah, Lauren, I'd say my 2 favorites, Rory McIlroy, I'm really bullish on this week. I mean, a lot of people are, right? I mean, he had a good performance. He backdoored a top 10. So he's been playing well at the Genesis. So we've got guys into groups. So his group B, as it's called, is him, Victor Hovland, Sungjae M, and Billy Horschel. So he has to just beat 3 guys plus 160. Okay. Why I like this is Rory has done just amazing things at this tournament. He has posted 5 consecutive top 10s. Wow. Really amazing. And I like the fact that he only has to beat 3 guys, even though these are 3 really, established stud players playing well, especially Victor Hovland and Billy Horschel are pretty good. And then Cameron Young on a top 20. He's been on my radar since last summer. He won a Corn Ferry event at the Glen Club, which is about a half an hour from me. Big kid, son of a golf professional from Scarsdale, New York, and he's been awesome this year. 4 straight finishes of T26 or better. Really good long approach game. So Cameron Young, why not? He's been hot this year. Seems to fit the course well. So let's take him on a top 20. Pays plus 250.
I like it. And then you said eyes on Adam Scott, Keith Mitchell. We already talked a little bit about Matt Fitzpatrick, but what do you see from Adam Scott and Keith Mitchell?
Adam Scott tied for 4th at the Genesis, looking really good. You never really want to take him on the courses that have the tough putting because you always feel a little weird, with him with the broomstick and however he does that. But on the courses where ball striking is at a premium, you take Adam Scott, and that's why you do it here, although he doesn't have a great history in the event. And Keith Mitchell, we know he plays his best golf in Florida. T10 last week, rallied for a nice one to pay out some top 10s for some guys. And here in his last 3 starts, tied for 5th, tied for 6th, plays really well on the East Coast. So Keith Mitchell's a guy that a lot of golf bettors are into.
Yeah.
Last one for me, Teddy. My guy's Brooks. Brooks need to dye the hair back. What's going on with my guy? I mean, he needs to get it together.
I mean, blondes have more fun, so he could be. I don't, Lauren, have you ever been blonde? I don't know.
I have never been blonde in my life, and I don't think I ever will be blonde, Teddy, to be honest with you.
Well, you and I have that in common. I did not have a Dennis Rodman phase in my life either, so I'm stuck with the salt and pepper. Yeah, I mean, Brooks has just been, he's been sort of okay this season. Certainly good to see him healthy. He's got the swagger. He always feels good about his game. You always sense he's got the confidence, but he's just been kind of up and down. I think at one point he fell out of the top 20 in the world golf rankings, and that was probably upsetting him a little bit. So I'm sure he's highly motivated. Look, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, once you get past the majors, the Tour Championship, and the Players Championship, this is right there in terms of the events a guy wants to win. It's here and it's a memorial, and I'm sure Phoenix, because they know what a party that is. But this is the kind of event that gets everyone's attention.
And last one before we let you go, Teddy's Name a Bet. Tell us a little bit more about that this weekend.
So is this the John Rahm that you're asking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is I think a really good one and incredibly generous one. So John Rahm to finish in the top 20 of all 4 majors, which he did last year, was originally priced at plus 2,500, 25 to 1. Apparently it got bet pretty heavily because it's down to 20 to 1, but still best player in the world, theoretically better than last year. He's got the experience. Again, finished top 10 in all the majors last year at 20 to 1. I don't know how you don't play this.
Yeah, 20. I'm actually going to get on that right after the show is done and bet that. Teddy's Name a Bet. I love it. John Rahm to finish top 10 in all 4 majors, 20 to 1 odds right now on PointsBet. Get on it, everybody. Jump on it. Jump on it. Teddy Greenstein, senior editor of PointsBet. Thank you so much. Have a great week and best of luck with the rest of your bets.
Great seeing you guys. Thanks for the bonus singing, Lauren. That's
anytime, Teddy. I got you.
Bye, guys. We'll see you.
Bye. Oh, love it. So yeah, Arnold Palmer Invitational. Lauren, slow down, girl. Arnold Palmer Invitational happening this weekend at Bay Hill Club and Lodge. That's going to be an exciting one. So make sure to get on those bets. Teddy gave us a lot of great insight on all of those. Let's move on to college basketball because most teams now only have 2 games left in the regular season, 2 to 3 games, depending on who you're talking about. And there's a lot of good games last night. Couple good games going on tonight too. First of all, let's break down UConn taking on Creighton. The spread right now is at 4, total 135.5. Your expectations, AG, for this game?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great defensive game. My first thoughts when looking at the line for this one, UConn favorite in the game, even though they lost to Creighton at home earlier this season. Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting. I think, like I said, it's going to be a low-scoring defensive battle. Creighton at home, they're going to be the hungrier team because they need this game to build that tournament resume. That's what they're looking to do. UConn, I think, is pretty safe, but Creighton needs to build a little bit of a resume here And they're coming off of a loss where they got embarrassed. They got blown out by Providence. So I think this is actually a good spot for Creighton. A great bounce back spot. Like I said, at home, I lean that way, but probably going to be a pass for me. These are two evenly matched teams. I think Creighton is probably going to do enough to be able to cover, but I'm passing this one. Something's just a little off about this game for me.
Something's a little fishy. Honestly, that's
a little off,
that because the first line that I have typed out on my computer right now is Creighton is looking for a huge resume building win. They need this win.
Need it.
The resume for the bubble. UConn 21-7 on the season. They beat the Georgetown Hoyas. Hoya, can I get a Hoya? But they didn't cover the spread in that game, so I actually won my bet on that one because I bet Georgetown in the points. UConn is won 5 straight games now. They look like they could be making some noise come the big day.
They look great.
Right?
They look great.
I know, but they have struggled on the road this season. They've had a few offensive shooting droughts, and the Blue Jays have played really well down the stretch. I think this is going to be a really tough matchup. I think that the Blue Jays are equipped more than most Big East teams to deal with UConn's strength in the paint, right? UConn has a 50.3 team effective field goal percentage. So they've kind of been relying on offensive rebounding, free throw production to generate points. And I don't think that's easy against a team like Creighton. They have a ton of size and shut down lanes in the paint. They allow 45.3 effective field goal percentage, which is 16th best in the entire nation. And the Blue Jays grabbed 10 offensive rebounds in the first game against UConn. The Huskies right now allowing the second worst free throw rate in the Big East. That could come down. I just feel like this could come into play when the points are like hard to come by in a game like this, right? This is a great spot to back Creighton as a home dog. They've only lost in Omaha once in conference play. And I just think they're going to have confidence after beating UConn already. This is a really good spot for them. So I'm backing Creighton in the points +4 in this spot. And I already locked in my bet earlier this morning. So yeah, it does seem a little fishy, but at the same time, I feel like they're going to be able to take advantage because UConn's like locked in. Creighton needs this win more. And I just feel like that's going to be definitely an edge in a game like this. And home court advantage, college basketball, that's a big deal. Big deal.
This is a big game. Yeah, this is a big game for Creighton.
Yeah, I really like home dogs on well, I was going to say home dogs on home court, but I'm like, that is home dogs. So home dogs on home court. Only if it was senior night, Alex. If only it was senior night.
Not senior night. Not senior night.
It is not senior night. If only it was. One of the other games going on right now that we're on the same side of, LSU taking on Arkansas. Woo Pig Suey. Break it down for me.
Yes. Well, we are talking about senior nights, correct?
It is senior night?
Let me check here. I am almost positive that it is senior night. It is senior night.
Alex loves senior night.
I do. I did not know that before I made this pick. But Arkansas, I'm going to go with Arkansas. And I'm going to lay the 5 points. The only concern I have is this being a look ahead spot for them almost with Tennessee on Saturday. That's obviously going to be a really big game for Arkansas. And obviously they're coming off that big win against Kentucky over the weekend. So a little bit of a tough spot here, but it's just really tough to back this LSU team on the road. This is like the perfect storm of game for me also, because if you paid attention to the show, the only team that's in my graveyard is LSU basketball. Will Wade and LSU basketball. I will never bet on LSU basketball at least this season. They're done with me. Or I'm I should say. But 2-6 on the road in SEC play, 4-4 against the spread in those games. And then you got Arkansas. It's just a great team at home. They beat LSU by 7 in January, but in that first meeting, LSU was missing some of their key guys. So I don't really put too much stock into that. I just really I've watched LSU more than a couple times this year, and you really just don't know what you're going to get. But on the road,
Alex, they're not your cup of tea.
They're just not good on the road. And Arkansas, they're playing really good basketball right now. 1 game back in the SEC title race.
Yeah.
Senior night, it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with LSU's bigs tonight, because Oscar Tshiebwe for Kentucky went off over the weekend against them. But even though they were able to get the win, Tshiebwe still had a monster game. So I'm kind of concerned about that. But I think you can't back LSU in this spot. So it's Arkansas or pass for me, and I'm rolling with Arkansas tonight.
I'm rolling with Arkansas too.
On senior night.
And since the line has moved, it is now 5.5, which I would still bet. I'd probably bet this up to 6.5 maybe. But I have Arkansas laying 5 in this spot. No one is hotter than Arkansas right now at this moment. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. They're 16-1 at home this season, and they are also completely healthy and one of the deepest and most athletic rosters, in my opinion, in college basketball. Arkansas being at home is huge. I think senior night, now that we know that, is absolutely huge. And I feel like they've figured out how to balance finding success. They've combined an elite backcourt with a really, really athletic front court. They rank 38th nationally in scoring. And I think they have the ability in this game to be able to lure LSU into an extremely fast-paced game. LSU, I was looking at some of their stats. They're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5, following an against the spread win, and 1-4 in the last 5 following a straight up win. Then you look at Arkansas, they're 5-0 in the last 5 home games against teams with a losing record. They're 6-0-1 against the spread in the last 7 games against a team with a winning percentage over 600, and they're 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games. This is such a good spot for Arkansas. I like Arkansas, lay the points up to 6, maybe 6.5 if you're really feeling frisky. Right now, the line is sitting at 5.5. So Alex and I, we're both on the same side of this one. But I want to take it. Do you have any other college basketball bets before we take it, boys to men? Alex?
Sorry, my computer froze. You there? We good? We good? Are we good?
Do we have any other college? Do you have any other college basketball bets? Oh my gosh, I cannot.
No. That's the old. No. I'm only going with Arkansas tonight. That's probably the only college.
That's your only bet. Okay, let's take it.
Light card tonight. Light card.
Let's take it, boys to men. Boys to men. Okay, into the NBA, because we are in the final stretch run. Most teams have about 20 games left in the season, and we're kind of starting to see things play out in both the East and the West, both very competitive right now. Starting with the East, I have a question. Did Daryl Morey punk the Nets with the Harden trade, or do you think Ben Simmons can make as big of an impact as Harden when he actually is available to play?
I think that both teams got exactly what they needed, right?
Yeah.
The Sixers look great with James.
Great.
We're gonna talk more about that. I mean, but the thing about the Sixers now, because now you have to choose. I mean, I already said the key for that trade for me was that Maxey wasn't involved in the trade, because he has been such a good player for the Sixers. So now that you have a great guard in Maxey, he can dish it to Harden. Guess what? You can't double Harden, because when you double Harden, he's going to just go to Embiid, and vice versa. So both of them just have the ability to go for 30. I mean, they could both go for 30, like we saw the other day against the Knicks. I mean, so they obviously made out in their trade. We're going to see what happens with Ben Simmons, but once Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons are on the floor, if Kyrie Irving can play, consistently with the Nets too, that is also going to be a really good team. We just haven't seen them on the court together yet.
All together.
Be patient. Be patient. I think everyone wins in that trade.
Yeah. Another team I want to talk about in the West is the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic right now, because they are absolutely on fire. They knocked the Lakers off last night in like a 109-104 win. And Luka just looks phenomenal right now. What are your thoughts on him?
Did you see him climb Dwight Howard's back and with the putback dunk? Oh. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know Luka could do that. I mean,
I didn't know he could either. Like, he is playing
on another level
caliber right now, and he's making this team a true contester to make a run for the NBA Finals right now. What are your thoughts on Luka and what he's been able to do for the Mavs so far?
I mean, Luka, that's who Luka is. That's what he's been doing since he's been in the league. I mean, the question, you're in Atlanta, is always who won the trade with Luka and Trae Young. And, Luka's a great player. He's a great player. He's going to win an MVP, multiple MVPs before it's over. I'm interested. I mean, he needs something around him, though, right? He needs a little bit of help. Because he's putting the Mavs on his back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason and trades that they make moving forward. But it is amazing to watch him play. What are your thoughts on him to possibly win MVP? I know, obviously, at this point,
this
Giannis.
Year?
Yeah.
No, not this year. Not this year.
You don't think?
Not
a good outside?
No.
What
no, my outside pick.
Your thoughts on DeMar DeRozan to win MVP?
Love it. I mean, is it 10-1, 11-1 now?
Right, it's 11-1.
At the beginning of the streak, I believe it was like 40-1, before which is insane. I mean, like Zeno has said on this show multiple times before, like, I agree with him 100%. If the Bulls are able to get that 1 seed, DeMar DeRozan is going to be your MVP. So I still think that there's a ton of value in him at 10 or 11 or 12 to 1, wherever you're shopping for MVP, because if the Bulls are able to do that, it's going to be because of DeMar DeRozan. Now, that's the outside pick. Embiid, obviously, is the favorite right now, and he's going to still continue to put up crazy numbers with James Harden and what the Sixers are doing. So it'll be interesting to see. It's an interesting race, but DeMar DeRozan's definitely worth a look.
Definitely worth a look at 11 to 1. Okay, let's move on to Pickswise.com, our 3-star plays of the day. Who we got on the website, because I know your best bet of the day is actually going to be an NBA prop, but we'll wait 1 second.
I don't think we have any. We don't have any 3-star plays.
No 3-star plays, but you know what? That is okay, because we're only giving out the 3-star plays when we got the 3-star plays. Okay. Pickswise.com. Make sure to check it out every day. Most days we have 3-star play of the days, but we have our best bets of the day. So Alex, I'll let you go first. Who you got for your best bet of the day?
Man, well, before I get to that, I want to just address something real quick, because I'm looking at the comments throughout the show. Tough crowd today. You know, we get Alex 0-3 in his last NBA plays. You know, like, whoa. People are talking. I'm starting to hear some chirps here. But nonetheless, we're going back to the NBA for the play of the day today.
Broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke,
listen, if there's one thing about me that everyone should know, I love the chirps. I perform better when the chirping is louder. So keep chirping. I love it. But we're looking at Tyrese Maxey over 16.5 points tonight. James Harden making his Philly debut tonight, right? Everyone's expecting a big night from Harden, big night from Embiid, a Philly show, right? That very well could happen. But guess what? All the focus is on those two guys, especially in the prop market. I think that Tyrese Maxey's still not getting the respect that he deserves. He's been playing great, averaging 24.5 points in the 2 games that Harden's been in the lineup. And he's, even before Harden was in the lineup, he went over 16.5 points in 4 of 8 games. So Maxey's been playing really, really well for the Sixers. So I think that he can easily get 17 or more points tonight, even if Harden and Embiid have big nights like they've been doing.
Okay.
He's gone over that number in both games that Harden's been in the lineup. So I have no reason to believe that he won't do it again tonight.
3rd time's the charm, baby. Tyrese Maxey over 16.
Fourth time, because as the people will remind you, I've missed three NBA plays of that. But you know,
okay,
but
4th time's the charm, baby. Tyrese Maxey over 16.5 points. Maybe I'll tell you just to like give you a little spark. You know what I mean? I got you.
Listen.
We're
here.
I got you. My best bet of the day, I already talked about it a little bit earlier in the show, but it's the Blues Rangers, Blues 3 money line at plus 150. And I will say, guys, my hockey bets have been hitting. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. I'm loving my best bets of the day, hockey style. First of all, Jabarle, we are doing the Blues money line paired with the Kings. I know. I was trying to create.
Oh, build it up. I thought you were trying to remember.
I wasn't trying to remember. I was trying to create some suspense, but I could see it. Okay. Kings 3 money line combined with the Blues 3 money line, and that is valued at plus 327. That is not my best bet, though. My best bet is going to be that Blues 3 money line at plus 150. The Blues, like I said, are on a 4-game winning streak right now. Rangers 2-game losing streak. Both teams having great seasons so far. The Blues offense, though, has just been unreal. 31 goals in the last 7 games. They're averaging 3.58 goals per game on the season, and their defense has been really good as well. They're only allowing 2.67 goals per game. Falk, Krug combined for an 8.2 defensive point shares, 107 block shots, and I also like Parayko Mikola defensive pairing as well. They've had 176 block shots on the season, and the Rangers have only scored 2 goals in their last 2 games. I just see the Blues riding this momentum at MSG, being able to slow down the Rangers offensively, and then defensively, their defense can slow down the Rangers offensively, and then their offense, 31 goals in the last 7 games. They're just clicking right now. And I think that they're going to be able to take advantage of the Rangers, despite Shesterkin and his amazing play on the season. He has like a 941 save percentage, 1.95 goals against average. I just think that they're taking good, high quality shots, and they're going to be able to take advantage. I don't even necessarily think that this is going to be a high scoring game, just because of how good the Rangers are defensively and how good the Blues are defensively. But I think the Blues are going to do just enough. They're on fire to be able to take advantage at MSG. 3-way money line plus 150. Lock it in, baby. Let's go.
Producer Jack usually follows your picks. I wonder if he's going to be following.
I don't think he's going to be following me. He's a Rangers fan, but it's okay. You know what? Oh, he said I did. I love it, Jack. I love it. Thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. That's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to Pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter, Alex Glaze. I'm Lauren Jabbar. Best of luck tonight, everybody. Don't forget about the Jabbar lay. It hit last night, too. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it.